This is a lecture from Open Tuition. For the free lecture notes that go with this podcast, please visit opentuition.com.
We finished the methods of looking at strategic position by considering the Swot analysis, or Taos matrix as it's sometimes called. Almost certainly you've come across SWOT analysis before. It stands for strengths and weaknesses. Those are internal, and opportunities and threats, which are external. So examples of strengths and weaknesses, it could be I might be very strong at marketing, but I may have a very bad or weak IT system. I might be strong in R&D, but I might be weak at marketing. Opportunities and threats, the external. The threat could be a change of government, a rise in interest rate, a change in exchange rate. An opportunity might be a competitor in dire financial straits who's maybe open to an offer for a takeover at a nice cheap price. The great thing about SWOT analysis is if you're asked to appraise the position of a company, it will always work. And sometimes examiners just say using a tool or tools of your choice, analyze the company's strategic position. SWOT will always work. So it is a fallback, and not to be by any means shunned, but I would say that the examiner does complain sometimes of being swatted to death, because it's the only thing anyone ever does. And certainly if the question says using a tool or tools of your choice, I would take the hint and try and use more than one. So if you're doing a pastel analysis, this is the external macro environment, then of course that pastel would actually feed some ideas into the opportunities and threats. If you're looking perhaps at the M words that we had for our resources, the money, the men and women, the machinery, the management, the marketing, the MIS, the make, the brand and so on, then they would tend to feed into strengths and weaknesses. We've got a very strong brand, but perhaps the management of the company is a little weak to make use of that. The great thing about setting it out in this particular matrix, strengths and weaknesses across the top, opportunities and threats down the side, is it should be provoking us to action. There is no point in doing a SWOT analysis, or indeed any other type of analysis, if all you do is kind of say, well, that's very interesting, kind of shrug your shoulders and ignore it. What you should be doing is taking information from this and kind of saying, and so what? What should I be doing? How should I protect myself? How should I make use of an opportunity? But that's what we need to be doing. That's the purpose of these analyses. So if we look at this one here, we have a strength and opportunity. Matching. So maybe our strength is lots of money in the bank. Maybe the opportunity is a competitor who is in hard times, maybe ripe for a takeover. That's a marriage made in heaven, really. We can use our money to take over that competitor. Another example, maybe there's an opportunity to open in a developing country, and our strength is we've got very good international marketing, a lot of experience in working abroad. Again, that's probably going to work. We have the internal strength, which is just right to make use of the opportunity. To go to the next one here, a weakness matched to an opportunity. This could be like seeing a competitor in a bad financial state. We'd like to take them over, but we have no money. And if we have no money, we can't do it. So what we have to do is either not do that strategy at all, not make use of that opportunity, or what we have to do is to make good the weakness, find the money, perhaps have a rights issue or try to borrow from the bank to allow us to take that company over. Another example, we're saying if you have an opportunity to open abroad, but you've got no international management experience, the managers are all from the family who've been kind of operating a small way. If they try, with their lack of experience, opening abroad, they'll probably fall flat on their faces. What we need is a way round it, a way to repair the weakness, maybe by recruiting a skilled marketing manager, or maybe by entering into some sort of distribution or franchise agreement with a company which is already operating in a foreign country so they can help us. Sometimes we'll face a threat and maybe we have a strength with which we can fight it. It could be a threat of somebody coming into our market, a new entrant in our market. If we have lots of money in the bank, we could afford to reduce our prices, really put them under pressure so they don't make very good profits, and maybe we'll scare them away. Sometimes what people do, again a threat maybe of a new entrant coming into the market, they appeal to their brand, they appeal almost to a nationalist type of feeling. They say our product is a long-lived product, made in this country, employing local people and so on. Buy from the home country, buy from a home company, rather than buying this foreign stuff which is only helping foreign employees, not your own. It mightn't be a very noble sentiment, but using brand strength and so on is frequently used. You can rely on a brand, maybe, or make certain pledges that people believe in. This is the tricky one. There is a threat, and it's aimed exactly where you're weak. This is what really caused the British car industry to die. British cars in the 1960s were not great. They were innovative in some ways. They had very good air conditioning, because after 6 months you could poke your finger through the metalwork, it had rusted so much. They had very low fuel consumption because they would never start. They were dreadful. Too many small companies making cars, none with enough resources to develop new models, and certainly none with the expertise to develop quality. And what they were faced with was threat basically from Japanese car manufacturers who came with the most superb quality. And there was simply no way that the British car industry could survive there. They tried to learn tricks from Honda and so on, but it was too little, too late. And essentially it drove them out of the market. Lots of cars are made in the UK now, but they're all Japanese cars. The only cars from a British heritage that might still be made are very specialist sport cars. No mass-produced own model cars made anymore in Britain, because there was a threat directed where they were weak and they couldn't survive.